We're in a global crisis at the moment, and a lot of people are asking, what's happening? When's it going to end? When are we going to be back to normal? And I want to bring to you a message from heaven, which I saw. It's a call to prayer, really. I saw it on the 3rd of April this year, 2020, and it's a situation which I've been monitoring across the southern part of the globe. And it's looking like it's developing into a real situation. So basically, I was in the heavenly realms and I was dwelling with Jesus, and suddenly I saw a vision open up before me, and an angel appeared to me and told me, he warned me that famines were coming across the world. And so I've been monitoring this situation with famines. There have been warnings of famines coming if we didn't do anything, but now the UN is actually warning that famines can come unless we step up and do something as a world. Then it could be on a biblical proportion. So this is really a call to prayer, if you feel so inclined to pray, that we basically are prepared for this famine. Now, we've seen biblical famines before. That's why they're called biblical. They're in history, they're recorded. The first one that is famous is the famine that hit the biblical area where Joseph was and his family. You know the story that Joseph went to Egypt. He was sold to Egypt by his brothers. He grew up in Egypt and he became elevated into a really high position of influence. But then God used that position of influence so that he could feed his brothers and his father. They didn't recognize him at that point in time, but basically he was able to save them and deliver them into prosperity. So basically, the whole point of the church's mission, the whole point of the Western world's mission at this time is to rally around the southern nations and to support them during any famine. Of course, if we have any famine from the southern nations of the globe, it's going to affect the northern nations. We cannot negate this. We cannot sort of neglect what's happening there. We need to care for them. And as well, if this famine hits the Western world, it will hit everybody. It will hit the pipelines of food produce. It will hit the financial pipeline as well. We'll see financial repercussions. We'll see food stock repercussions. We'll see all sorts of things fall out from this, which we want to avoid, really. So whether or not it's going to happen, the warning is that we're on the brink of one, and it's more than going to be localized. There are going to be several instances of famines, and we need to be prepared. We need to act now. So this is a call to prayer, to pray that people are mobilized to take the right action in wisdom to prevent any famines, or to step up and do the necessary to provide for when a famine comes. The other biblical event there was a famine was in the New Testament, in the book of Acts. The prophet Agabus stood up and prophesied that a famine was coming, and the whole church was prepared. It became prepared because of this word and was able to look after everybody throughout this famine. So I don't have the answers. All I know is that on the 3rd of April, I was warned in the heavenly realm by an angel that famine was going to come and hit the earth. And now the United Nations are warning that we're headed that way. So this is really a call to prayer and a call for the church and the Western world to get prepared to help the southern world. Now, I have no influence in that, I know that, but this is really, I'm praying, and I hope that you join me in praying too, that the world leaders will have the wisdom to partner with the United Nations and do something to really step into the impending crisis that's coming.